Marvel, baby. But not really.
No, it's Marvel.
It's Wanda? No Cosmo? No Vision?
Timmy Turner?
Excelsior?
What if she gives birth to Timmy Turner?
If you don't stop, I don't know.
Full reels is we talk about Wandavision in the first 2 episodes because that's all there is.
Yay!
And probably more about Marvel and
Yeah, so all these
stuff.
theory craft things that we're going to talk about, all that could be thrown out the window depending on...
We just break down
a
what
lot of
happened.
stuff. Actually, hold on. Let's rewind it first back. Let's talk about what it was like to live through the whole Marvel era.
It's rewind time.
It is rewind.
Oh yeah, I
time.
forgot that we did that.
We
And-
lived through the cultural uprising of comic book culture, technically, because the second, because like its original start and how popular it was,
The crusty
and how
60s.
because comics were pop culture, and then they weren't, and then in the early 2000s with the introduction of like Spider-Man, like the movie and the Batman movie, like
Yeah.
and Blade.
Oh yeah. Blade.
Technically, those are like the 3 first real blockbuster.
Talking about the
like,
Batman movie with nipples?
No. the Batman trilogy.
the-
Very
Oh,
good.
Because those are like good.
Those are funny though.
They're funny and good.
Arnold
Like,
Schwarzenegger as the Iceman.
but like it wasn't like they weren't like the old I don't know, like they weren't it. But like those 3 movies like Blade, Spider-Man, and the first Batman movie, was it Batman Begins?
Yes.
Yeah, like
The
those are like the big whoa. Superhero movies aren't just superhero movies anymore. They're like blockbuster movies.
Green Lantern.
Oof.
No, not blockbuster.
Opposite of Blockbuster.
Green Lantern.
Even
Bust
Ryan
blocker.
Reynolds himself acknowledges that.
Yeah, a bust blocker. Okay, but
Ew.
That's actually funny.
But anyways,
Good.
but yeah, like it was cool. Like that was like the start of like the Renaissance, and like all of a sudden we're like living through like seeing superheroes on the screen, but like kick ass and not be like look like lame and like can't. It was like the departure from campy to
Realistic.
like realistic and like serious, which.
Got kind of overplayed.
Well, but this is a matter of an opinion now. But like for some people, that's run its course. For some, they're like, oh, I'm still interested in like seeing like more stories. I'm down. You know, like I'm okay with like seeing. I just want to see more stories on the screen. You know, because like I like the characters. I love my like comic book characters, and like I want to see more. Like we've mentioned before. Like I want to see more Hulk stuff. I want to see more. More Spider-Man stuff and like Spider-Verse stuff and
More.
you know
More.
yeah, like I'm excited and like but it was so interesting just like living through that and like seeing it develop because it's had its bumps.
Oh yeah.
You know, like Spider-Man was like Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3. And you're like, all right, so like we were like, okay, that's the end of
We could just
superhero
talk about
movies.
like the Marvel movies, child.
Yeah.
There was some pretty boring movies in the beginning.
Daredevil. Ooh.
There's
That's kind of a
Fantastic
stinker.
Four.
it's a hard watch now.
Fantastic Four.
Ghost Rider.
Both Fantastic Fours, both Ghost Riders.
Yeah, like Spider-Man showed that they could do it, and then they're like, okay, we're not gonna do that for a little bit. and then
both
but then
of those 2 original
Incredible
movies,
Hulk
yeah.
was the pioneer of the MCU, technically.
The second Hulk movie, right? Because the first one wasn't connected at all.
No, the first one wasn't connected at all.
First one was a weird movie.
First one was a weird
He was
movie.
naked.
He was naked.
And then he got his iconic purple shorts that like canonically stretch when he goes big.
Yeah, and then Iron Man came along, and he said,
That movie slap.
"This is the MCU."
Robert Downey Jr. So hot.
Robert Downey Jr. might go down as like the perfect interpretation
Of Tony Stark.
of a comic book character on screen. I'm gonna
I
be real.
agree.
I'm gonna be like absolutely.
And he's a legend. And he's a zaddy. So I
Yeah.
agree.
You know.
And it is weird because not only does he like play the part, he just
He
looks
is.
like
He
Tony
literally
Stark.
looks
Well,
like
you know,
Tony
he
Stark.
took the part and made it his own.
Yeah.
Like he made Iron Man what he is now.
yeah.
Like you'll read comic books, and they'll try to be that now, and it's like, damn, like he took it, and it's like, no, I'm Iron Man now.
I mean, sometimes they go a little too far with Iron Man's smartness. There's some weird ass Iron Man stories.
Well, yeah.
There's one where he like becomes a digital conscious being. He like his body dies and he like gets forced into the data world.
That's just comic books though.
It's
They get
weird,
crazy.
bro.
Digimon.
It's so weird shit.
There was my collab. Yeah.
Digimon.
I'm sad that we'll never ever get an Iron Man story with him again.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I think they ended it in a good way, I guess.
I mean,
I truly wish that they had a decent Mandarin story.
True.
That we never got.
a what?
Mandarin.
Their interpretation of the Mandarin was kind of
Oh,
whack.
that old man.
Kind of whack. I mean, they used the Mandarin as an offshoot to make a real villain. Or like it was Mandarin wasn't the real villain. It was that guy. Who was that guy?
Who was copying the suits?
Whiplash or
No, that was
the
a different
second
one. The third one was Mandarin into that guy who like could like heat up his fucking arms.
Oh,
or
all the
something.
Iron Man suits? Or am I thinking
Yeah.
of two?
I think that was.
I don't
was in
remember
three.
the
That was in
movies.
three. That was in three. Yeah.
I never saw that.
We should
I never
rewatch
saw-
the Marvel movies whenever we go on break.
Yeah, sure.
That's a lot.
I mean, it's a lot, but
I've done it
it's-
before and it's fun.
It is fun because you can like put them in your own order, your own chronological order too.
I
And, like,
guess.
But we need
Pretty
to watch
cool.
Captain America first. That movie's really boring. It's
There's
so
some
I don't
boring
know, man.
movies.
I enjoy watching Captain America.
I did
The
not
first
enjoy it.
one?
Yeah, I enjoyed
That
it.
movie was big sleep energy. I only like.
I'm a sucker for a good Patriot story though. I'm different. I don't know, like. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Captain America was just kind of bland at that point. He was just like, I like this lady. She's a spy. Nazis. Goodbye.
There's like an endearing factor to it. You know?
I've said it before. I think Captain America is really boring when he's not with the other Avengers.
Because his story's kind of just like, I am good guy. I want to save the world. Goodbye.
Yeah, like he kind of needs those other characters to challenge.
Contrast.
Him.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm glad he like kind of just got like moved away. And I think his like narrative like prowess
it made
kind of
sense.
died.
And they made it sense, and that was good.
And he just got to like be happy. So good for him.
And then, spoiler alert, Tony didn't. So you know,
If you don't know that by now.
kind of fucked. But you know, it's fine. You know,
He said, I love my daughter. Wait, no, I don't. Goodbye.
I get it from a narrative perspective, but like, damn, man, like, I'm gonna miss Robert Downey.
I think it was less about the narrative, more like he was like, I'm not doing this no more.
He's old. He's like in his 40s.
I mean, he's still done movies.
He's still doing.
He
movies.
does movies.
Doctor
He's just not going to
Dolittle.
be, action ball.
Doctor Doom.
Ew, because when he comes back as Doctor Doom, but like no one acknowledges that he looks like Tony Stark.
So, I don't know, like, I don't know.
It was cool seeing the MCU happen.
Yeah.
And just see like,
In real
oh my
time.
god, they're gonna bring these characters.
Is
oh my
Howard
god, they're
the
gonna
Duck
bring these
coming back?
characters. Oh my god, they're gonna bring these characters.
Seeing the first Avengers movie in theaters was pretty historic. I ain't even gonna front. Watching the Avengers now, it's like a solid B movie
Yeah.
for me. But like seeing that for the first time and seeing all those characters on the big screen, I was just like, as a
that
kid, I
was
was like,
something different.
I think it took way too long for them to group up. It was real
they
boring.
couldn't group up in middle lane.
Exactly. Like, I get it, they have conflicting personalities, but that shit was so boring to watch. Thor was like, I'm out of here. Like, I'm out of here. And so they're like, I'm out of here. And I'm like, please, so
I mean,
boring.
it kind of makes sense from a narrative perspective. Like, if you're trying to go for the realistic route, having such big egos all come together.
Yeah, big brains.
I mean, and also, like, they got just so used to doing things on their own. So they get together and, like, yeah, no, I'm gonna do this. This always works for me.
I mean,
So,
at least it was better than Justice
you know.
League.
Well, yes, but there's a lot of things better than Justice League. So, you know. But, that'll be a topic for another day.
There's a
Talk
lot
about
to
that.
go with comic books.
Oh, man.
Do you want to talk about
Um,
Miss Wanda's history in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Go for
Sure.
it, Kuzbento. You're the big Wanda guy.
So basically, she starts off by getting kidnapped in Hydra. She gets kidnapped by Hydra, and I think they show that when was it the end of Civil War, or was it the end of the first Captain America movie?
No, she wasn't in the first Captain America movie. Civil War was our introduction. No, what? It wasn't.
Was it the end
Our
credit scene?
introduction.
I know it was the end credit scene for like a movie, but I don't remember which. Because it shows her in the prison where she's like playing with the blocks. People were like, "Is that Scarlet Witch?" And they were like, "Yeah."
Yeah, but that was before all that Civil War stuff because Civil War was after Avengers 2, which was her introduction. With
So was it like an end credit scene? No.
I cannot remember.
Let me look this up.
Probably was. I mean, I never. I don't even remember what happens in the first Captain America movie because it's been like 20
Really?
years.
You don't remember all
He
that?
just fights Red Skull.
The Red Skull
Yeah,
shenanigans?
I know that, but it's like one of those movies where I've seen it, but it was so long ago that my brain just went.
It's like a classic war movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that's what I liked about it, personally, because like I kind of like classic war movies, but
I never saw Winter Soldier.
You never saw it?
Yeah. But like the thing is though, is like you don't really have to because
I mean,
those movies kind of follow a formula, and as long as if you just tell me the story points, I'm like okay, I'm good. I don't really need to see the movie.
But then you get the emotional connection with Bucky, bro.
I mean, I still get it. That was I could understand.
I don't
like,
know, man.
his connection.
Now watching that movie, you'd probably be like, oh, this
crusty nibba,
steel-armed dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I know who I'm familiar with the character.
Yeah, but like I don't know, it's different seeing it on like happen, you know.
Yeah, I didn't see Winter Soldier. I never saw the second 2 Iron Man movies.
So you just saw Iron Man 1.
So I only saw Iron Man 1.
Oh.
Do I really need to watch the other 2?
Yeah.
Honestly, Iron Man 2 was not a bad movie. I rewatched it this past year and I was like,
they're not bad.
I enjoyed it.
Iron Man 3 leads up to him becoming a big dad.
What I hated out of the Iron Man trilogy was it's like Tony Stark, character development,
and then going back.
And Iron Man 2,
yeah, and then
and then character development, and then Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 2 was like War Machine. That was like
that was that, yeah. But it kind of rocked though. Like I like War Machine.
And I never saw the Ant-Man. No, I saw the first Ant-Man movie. I didn't see the second one.
I can't find where she appeared. Like I know she was like I know it was like an Easter egg for some Captain America movie. That's what I remember.
And maybe at the end of Winter Soldier.
Yeah, because I know they showcased like the Hydra's prison cells, and it was Quicksilver and her. So that was like them being like they exist, and people were like, are they mutants? And they were like, no.
But yeah, but then then we got introduced to her in Avengers 2.
Age of Ultron. Yeah, and Ultron was like, you are my child now.
But then they ran.
Quicksilver dies.
They ran into the copyright problem with.
Well, they just retconned them being mutants.
Well, no, because Fox still owned Quicksilver's IP. Still. Yeah. So they said, okay, you get him for this one movie. So they had to kill him. And they literally physically had to kill him. To make narrative sense to, because he was not going to be able to appear in any other movie after that.
This iteration of Quicksilver was very boring.
I mean, again,
because he didn't have time to flesh out his character. Of course, it's boring.
They literally said, we're sticking you in this movie just to have your name in it and for you to run fast for a little bit. Then you're gonna have to die. That's basically that's what they got.
X-Men did an awesome badass scene.
Because they had multiple movies to flesh his character.
You're just like, hey, I'm video game boy.
They had him for that one movie, but he didn't have to fucking die.
Exactly, he was badass.
Because he didn't have to die. I mean, they probably felt like, man, we're only having for this one movie. Why put in the work to flesh him out if he's gonna fucking die?
Yeah, probably.
Make it epic, make it more money.
No. That movie made so much money. What do you mean?
All those movies make so much money.
Exactly. But yeah, let's talk about Wanda. Back on track. So, she wears an Age of Ultron, you meet her brother, and she's like, wow, this kind of sucks. I don't want to work for this robot dude. He really does not care about me at all. So
she ends up switching sides.
And then he dies, and he goes, oh!
And she's like, how dare you! You get to see her powers. Her powers are crazy. She, like, made them people have nightmares.
Yeah, for like, in the MCU, your first introduction to her is like, oh, she moves energy. That's your interpretation, but that's not really all there is to her. And I think that's what the new stuff is going into. And it was slowly building up from movie to movie that she was in. You're like, oh, she's strong. Oh, she's strong. Oh, okay. She's really strong.
When she can hold her own against Thanos, I think that she's strong.
Almost literally crushed Thanos in his own armor.
I mean, granted, it cost her sanity, but yes.
Yeah.
That's why I think what's happened now that we're in Wandavision now, because after Endgame, she's at the funeral.
Losing
she's just
and sad.
And afterwards, does he even have a character moment after that fight?
Vision?
No.
Oh.
Wanda? Of course not. He's dead.
Wanda? No, I don't think so.
I think she just appears like
Yeah.
at the funeral. That's it. I think it's just her like,
Yeah, but then like now
And
she's
everybody
just
was there.
now she's just
and then
Captured.
she cuts directly to whatever's going on.
yeah she's apparently in
She's
a
either
fac-
captured or like went somewhere.
Well, she's being monitored. That was the impression given in at the end of the first episode. Was
well, in
that
every
she's on-
episode.
Yeah,
but
she's
like,
on
we don't know
screen.
like how. Like we don't even know like if she's captured or they could pull like a Phoenix, because there's this story with Phoenix. If y'all know who Phoenix is, she's Jean Grey, super powered, has this like alien being in her. But they have a story with like her where she creates this world where she gets to live her perfect life with the Phoenix powers, and like she literally bring back Cyclops from the dead.
Ah, so we
Phoenix-
persona 5 royal.
So they can literally pull like a that. just
Phoenix
with
is a very
Wanda.
tragic character.
I wonder if they're gonna have to do that.
I mean, they're gonna have to
Maybe.
go. They might have to go through that story again,
Yeah.
just because it's a pretty integral part of the X-Men. That
It
really,
is.
yeah. So I don't know.
It's like Jean Grey's like defining moment.
Well, it's also like where Cyclops gets like all of his character development through that.
I wonder if they're
story.
gonna give creative like I wonder if they're gonna flex their creative skills and change stuff. You know, like I wonder if
They
they're gonna
can.
they could give him a happy ending. Who knows?
I mean, they
we'll
do
see.
get one.
Kind of.
She just
Yeah,
usually
let's just
die.
redo Dark Phoenix.
I mean, granted, there yes, all
That
of
movie
that's
was poopy.
all of that's retconned
Yeah,
in
it doesn't
reality.
exist.
So you know,
I mean, if you want to exist, like it believes in like an alternate reality. That's like an alternate reality.
technically
Yeah.
they might do that again because going into what Wanda's powers are, like she might have gone comatose, creating this new reality, and that's why that's how she was captured. Was like they just kind of like found her and like she's just doing her own thing right now in a reality. So then they took her and now they're monitoring what she's
I
doing.
think she's either dreaming, like she's like dreaming this all up, and like it's affecting the real world, or
Possibly.
she's like in a mental breakdown and she's just like, I want my husband back. Also, wasn't she like around when I Love Lucy was a thing? Like, how old is Wanda?
I don't think that's ever been
Mhm.
explained because we technically don't know her. We don't have an origin story for them
Yeah.
because
Well,
technically
not all stories have Wanda's dad be Magneto,
yeah.
so they could just do something else.
They could,
Because
which
if they're
is what
not,
they probably chose to
if
do.
they're not mutants in this world, which they've
Well.
already confirmed, which they can change,
but
at
now
will.
they could technically have the origin story be true because now they own the
Yeah.
rights to
Well,
have
also-
Magneto in things.
Yeah, but keep in mind that they never outright said they're not mutants. There was no mention of mutants, so they
Mutants
just be
wasn't
like, oh
the
hey.
word of terminology
Yeah.
they used for
They could-
superpowered people.
They could just be like, oh
Magic
hey, yeah, these
people.
guys are mutants specifically.
But technically, if you want to be direct, Doctor Strange isn't a mutant.
No.
he's a
because-
sorcerer.
Yeah, because
He
He's
wasn't
just
born
big
with
brain.
because he
powers.
wasn't born with the powers.
Yeah.
If you are born with a genetic mutation to have
Yeah.
a special set of skills, you're a mutant.
That's why Spider-Man isn't a mutant. He's
And
just a
technically-
human.
Hulk is not a mutant.
Nope.
Captain America is not a mutant.
Nope.
Ant-Man is not a mutant.
Nope.
Ant-Man's not a mutant.
Hawkeye's not a mutant. He's not even a superhero.
He's just a man.
He's just a man. You know?
Arrow
Who on
Man.
the squad is a mutant technically?
Thor's a god.
Thor's a god.
Well, if Scarlet Witch joins the Avengers, which I'm sure they will after this,
Iron Man's not a mutant.
she will be like the only mutant there.
Spider-Man's not. Well,
No, he's not.
No,
Marvel doesn't classify him as one.
Yeah, but
he's just
Black
a human
Widow's not a
with
mutant.
well, technically,
genetic kind of.
his DNA was changed because the
But
so
Marvel
like
doesn't
he was
classify him
like
as
maybe
one.
like a second wave.
Yeah,
You-
he wasn't born as a.
You have to be
mutant.
born as a
He
mutant to be
became-
considered a mutant.
But he became one.
Yeah.
So technically,
Well, whoa. But I was gonna say Wolverine's a mutant, but he was experimented on.
but he was
But
born
no,
with
yeah,
the
he was
powers.
born
He was
with
born
the
with the
bone.
powers.
Yeah.
The
They
bone
gave him
gang,
the
yeah,
the bone.
yeah,
He
they,
gave him
they
the
gave him the adamantium.
later to
Policy.
weaponize him. I'm so
Yeah.
sad. We're gonna have to watch that all over again. That poor man.
They're gonna have to also explain that adamantium and vibranium are the same
Oh,
thing.
wait, what about Deadpool? He was experimented on, right? Because they gave him
No,
Wolverine's
think-
powers.
I think he still had healing factor, but not to the degree of what they gave him.
I don't think that's what they went with in this
I don't-
version.
Yeah, I don't think
They,
he was born
I
a
think
mutant.
he got those powers
Yeah.
because he gave himself up
but
for
in the
experimentation.
comics, he's like
Oh yeah, because he had
Just-
cancer.
in the
Yeah.
comics he's like a mutant. I'm pretty sure.
Is he? I don't remember.
He just doesn't have like
Yeah,
his
he-
abilities unlocked.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I think that's what it was. Is like he had cancer.
And they weaponized his
no,
cancer.
yeah,
That's basically
so like
what it
he
is.
was constantly like
That's
creating
his
cells.
joke.
So they weaponized the cancer to make it so he had
As a
healing
healing
factor.
factor.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's why he looks the way he does. and all
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
He got them lesions.
I'm very rusty with my comic book lore.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's a thing. But yeah, like I guess like they in this version of the MCU, people aren't born left and right with powers. So technically, Wanda could bring that reality into
I mean, she could just make mutants.
well,
she could literally
she could
just
change
make
reality
mutants.
to where people were born genetically like that. Like
She's like,
yeah.
I want mutants to exist. There you go.
So now people are born with genetic defects that give them powers and the whole 9 yards.
Because technically, we can't have an origin story where Jean Grey and Cyclops and all those people exist already because there's no mutants.
Yeah,
Storm
'cause-
doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Yet.
technically you
Well,
can.
don't we already have a mutant? The little kid from Deadpool.
Well, see, that's the thing.
That's we don't know what
That's
they're gonna.
it,
That's
yeah.
the thing, because
over.
Deadpool exists in a world with mutants.
That's true.
But
and they're
it's
gonna-
also-
they're-
it's
wait,
also
but they're gonna tie him
Deadpool.
in. Deadpool 3 is gonna.
Yes.
We don't know
see
how
it.
though.
The how we don't know how.
They could literally just take that man, put him in a new universe. There you go.
It'll be- it'll be-
technically say that they reality hop him into a different universe.
They could do a lot of jokes with that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
I can't wait for all the jokes he's gonna make about people in the MCU.
With
That's gonna be.
Colossus.
That's
Come
gonna
back,
rock.
Colossus, the big
And
Russian
he already
man.
did.
He's gonna make jokes about Captain America having a small pee because he's taking drugs to become a big man. See what I mean? Like, there's so many options now. Like, it's gonna be awesome.
I want big metal Russian farmer dude. Come back, please come back.
Do you like Colossus?
Yeah, he's so cute. He's such a cutie.
He's a
He's
good
just
man.
Humble
you know?
farmer Russian man. He wants to help people. He's out here.
He's pretty strong.
The
You know?
X-Men are cool.
X-Men have sad ass stories.
I mean, that's their whole point.
That's
They're
all
Besides
Marvel.
Storm, she's
that's
just-
every comic book.
Storm was
character.
just like this, literally like goddess lady.
Technically,
who
she-
people
yeah.
worship.
Yeah, technically Storm isn't a mutant, and they confirm that.
I
She's
mean,
a
I don't know how they're
goddess.
gonna do her relationship with T'Challa since
Technically,
can't.
Yeah, because technically.
because she's married to him in the comics.
Oh my God! Really?
Talk about a power couple.
No, like because T'Challa, remember, there's no like barriers, so she was just this goddess lady people worshipped in Africa, and she was just like,
Hey, you kind of have the essence of a god, kind
Do
of.
they have a
Because
kid?
isn't that
no,
That was a busted ass kid
isn't
if they
that
have
what
one.
like the flower thing? It's like
Yeah.
it's an aphrodisiac. It's like not an
Kinda.
aphrodisiac, but like it's like a thing they grind up and like it like enhances you physically, but like spiritually as well.
Well, he like talked to the like panther god or whatever.
So technically, you could say
he got the power. Yeah, he gets the powers from that panther god.
It's so interesting.
so unless they like recast Black Panther, which I doubt, but like how are they gonna like?
I mean, they could, because you should be like, oh, hey, look, I pulled this other Black Panther from another universe.
I feel they're gonna have to. They can't just like not do Black Panther stories.
Well, technically, they had Black Panther 2 planned before he died.
Died.
So I don't know.
I think they're just gonna, like,
Wait, no. Warmonger dies, right?
Yeah.
Dang
Yeah,
it.
he does.
Can't have Michael B. Jordan as Black Panther.
No.
That'd be cool.
But what I'm saying
Damn,
is,
that would have been a badass story.
whatever
Or-
I'm saying.
Or like maybe like he dies, but they pull like, oh, someone found him in the cave and they took him back and they rejuvenated him. No, they could do that. They could be like they found him.
It'd be a stretch, but they could.
Exactly, it's a stretch, but they could. They've
I don't know,
done
man.
stuff like that.
Let's get back
before.
on Wanda. Let's get back on
Yeah,
Wanda.
that's the thing with the MCU. It's so convoluted because everything's like if you want to connect everything, it becomes very.
Let's get back to Miss Wanda. So basically, Miss Wanda, she's in this weird show reality that we don't really know about.
I like it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was kind of confused when I first watched it because I was just like, what's happening?
It's very.
They don't, like, explain anything.
It's just like, oh, Vision's here.
Yeah,
They're
it's-
living a life in basically the 70s.
No, the first part takes place in the 60s.
60s. That's
And
it.
then I think the first and second part are 60s, and then the next part coming up is the 70s.
Yeah, and like in the trailer, it shows that they like start doing things in color, and it
Well,
seems
that's
like
why it goes to the 70s.
Yeah.
Oh.
It seems like just kind of like one. It's like parodying all this stuff that it's referencing. So like all those old shows, but then it's
I love
also
Lucy.
so yeah, it's going through like genres from the trailer. It looks like they're just gonna go through a bunch
Mhm.
of different genres of TV shows and put them in these scenarios, but also
And
have this
s-
overarching
yeah.
story.
Like I don't know. I think that like what they're doing is like she's remembering
Things.
bits.
Yeah.
like
I think she's aware of what's happening.
ah.
I think she's aware because that's why when that guy was choking, she was just staring at him because she was like, "Why is nobody helping him?" That's why when she was like, "Vision, help him," he was like, "Okay."
I don't know. I have a feeling that she doesn't. I have a feeling that she does but doesn't at the same time.
She like needs to remember what's happening.
Yeah, I think she just doesn't remember why she's there. Cause like I think that was the whole spiel of the first and second episode. It's like
yeah,
why?
just like, oh, I don't remember anything. I don't remember
I think
like where we
she
came
has
from or origin
some
story or anything of that sort.
because like when she saw that, spoiler alert, the B-Man, which I think is a member of AIM. If y'all know what AIM is, do your comic searching.
Well, I don't know. I think that was more of a defense mechanism. Like her,
She
her
said-
brain,
No.
like her brain was like not comprehending that it was lining up. I think she's subconsciously doing this, but I don't think she's consciously doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it'll be interesting to see because it's one of those shows where you find out as it comes out.
Yeah.
So
I love the humor.
yeah, the humor is great.
When you get drunk on gum.
when Vision literally just like walks in, the plate goes. I was like, what the?
Because he's
I was
drunk
like,
on
this
gum,
rocks.
bro. Don't worry about it.
It was so random and like, it just hit. I was like, what? Why is this so funny?
And Vision constant question like, so what do we do here?
I mean, they both question, like, they even thought like that day was their anniversary.
Yeah, but that's why I think they're like not like they don't really understand what's happening.
I think Sword put her in like some weird dimension where she could test out her powers, or she's like on a small like portion of the Earth where she's just like affecting these people because there was that scene where Jimmy Choo on the radio, which if you don't know who Jimmy Choo is, he's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Sword. I don't know, whatever he is. I mean, S.H.I.E.L.D. and Sword is like the same thing, but one is just for space. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
Sword is like S.H.I.E.L.D. for space.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she's in space.
Like, what was the movie that just recently came out? Spider-Man?
Yeah.
They showed off Sword. Like all those scroll people.
Oh, yeah,
that was
yeah,
Sword. Yeah. So
Oh.
yeah. So like really getting into like space shenanigans because obviously Galactus is going to be the big bad. So
So
we're leading into more space shenanigans. We're probably gonna get another Captain Marvel movie, but where she's gonna be in space. But anyways.
I thought that was already
Adam
confirmed.
Warlock,
They're getting
Fantastic
Captain Marvel
Four.
2. Sadly, but
Yeah, I
Guardians of
wonder
the
if I wonder if Sword is gonna be the lead-in into Fantastic Four getting their powers from the Thing.
Ooh.
Because they
That
get them
makes
in
sense.
space.
That makes sense.
I mean, if their enemy is Super Scroll, then yeah.
So then they can be scientists for Sword.
Tenderizer.
Ew, no, please no.
Scrolls were interesting. I
Yeah.
will say like Captain Marvel's take on them was very interesting, and I kind of enjoyed that. Everything else was kind of.
I wonder if we're gonna get more because there's more aliens.
We have to see evil scrolls too, you know.
Well, there's different races.
That's what I'm saying.
Tenderizer.
There's white scroll, green scroll.
Oh God.
Because if they're doing Young Avengers, one of their members I think is a scroll. So
But yeah, I mean like. As a whole, like I kind of dig WandaVision. Like I kind of dig like its direction. It's like that uncanny valley type stuff where like it'll like you'll be like in it and then it'll instantly take you out with like a moment.
and you'll be
And,
kind of.
and I'll be like it's like freaky. It's like whoa, hold up, like
Yeah,
it's like
what's going
unnerving
on?
almost.
That show makes you very uncomfy.
Yeah.
And I love that about it. It's like this is nice. I don't know, like it's like the moment where like again like at dinner when like there's choking and then she like there's the moment where like
She's just like,
she walks outside with the helicopter.
and the lady's like, help him, help him, help him.
No, it's
Help
just like
him.
no, she's like stop it,
Yeah.
stop it, and she's just like smiling, and it's like what the hell is happening? But like it's very interesting just like to see where they're going with it, you know. But I feel like the writing's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's Marvel. I wasn't expecting bad. Most of the stuff that they have going on right now is like pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't really expect most of them to be like bad.
stinkers.
They'll be like meh. They won't be
Yeah.
like bad.
Yeah, as long as they don't go back to the Daredevil. So the old Daredevil. I never
Old,
saw
the
the
olden
Daredevil
days.
TV show, but
yeah,
But let's talk about theories. Okay, so There's Agnes, the neighbor, who we all know is Agatha Harkness. Who, if you don't know, she's this big old lady in the old Marvel comics who kind of like sometimes either like helps Wanda or hurts her. Like she's either a mentor or a villain. There's like different variations of her.
Yeah.
But I think in this one, I think they're gonna like have her be like a mentor to her.
Yeah.
Because in the show, they were talking about how like this show is gonna introduce like Scarlet Witch. Like she's gonna be like
The
I'm Scarlet
sorceress.
Witch. Yeah.
Kind of.
Instead of being like I'm Wanda Maximoff,
Yeah.
she's gonna be like I'm Scarlet Witch. So I don't know what that means, but like I think she's gonna like have more control over
She's
her
also
power.
now having a kid.
Kids. They're
I guess,
twins.
I guess so. So we're gonna have to see what they're gonna do with that. If they're gonna have powers, and if that's gonna be the start of people being born as mutants.
No. Here's what they do. Scarlet Jr., Quicksilver Jr.
Oh god.
Quicksilver is born.
That's not how.
backwards.
That's not how
No.
children work. I think it's like Wiccan and like somebody else. But Wiccan is like a love child of Doctor Doom and Wanda because Doctor Doom like mind controlled Wanda, and it was like real weird. But I don't know if they're gonna do that.
I don't think so.
So they
Considering Doctor
could
Doom isn't a thing yet.
they could even get rid of the twin thing and just have her give birth to Wiccan. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't even know if the child that she's gonna give birth to or like pop out into existence is
Yeah.
gonna even like be a thing that's gonna last.
Yeah, who knows? Or if it's gonna like have like the powers of like that Vision had, and like be. What if like this child's gonna have the power of a literal Infinity Stone?
Ew.
Like shit, like dude,
Have
like,
the
what do
power to literally phase through shit.
Well, I don't know if it'll like have Vision's like DNA because.
But like again, like she can make that a reality. I don't know.
I think there's only like a limit to how much she can do though,
Yeah.
because like she can't like literally be like robot, human, robot human.
I don't, could she technically conceptualize him as an organic being?
Yeah, but she would. It would have to be more like her DNA. Like she just made a child by
Yeah.
herself.
I guess so. I don't know. There's a lot that they do. Oh, many avenues they could go in. Sorry. Yawn. I don't know. Like it's just interesting, just because like she's a big character, you know. Like she's a real big character.
Before she was kind of like there, but I think WandaVision's more like she's gonna be like a main focus of the next phase of Marvel,
Which is interesting.
which makes sense because Scarlet Witch is like one of the most popular female characters in Marvel Comics.
The thing is, they're gonna have to nerf her in some way because
They did it to Doctor Strange. You know it's
Did it
gonna
to
happen
Captain
to
Marvel.
yeah, because in a way, like if she is gonna become what she's really supposed to become, she can just poof away any problem.
Or they have to power level up their villains. Like they're gonna have to get to Shumagorath level villains.
Yeah, or like make Galactus
Consume.
impervious to like things.
Well, because I know
Or,
she probably
yeah.
couldn't just like poof Galactus away because he's like literally like a celestial being.
Yeah, he's like the beings before time.
Yeah,
and shit
so-
like that, so
We just won't ever have Thanos level enemies anymore.
Yeah.
Because like, if she had her powers that she had in WandaVision now, she would just be like, I wish for no more Thanos. Gone.
yeah.
Which
Just-
is like interesting, I guess.
In the original comics, technically, wasn't wasn't the glove and the Infinity Stones like weren't they connected to the Celestial beings instead of just? Oh no, like they still are. In
They were
this,
made by the
actually.
Watchers or
Because
whatever.
technically, yeah, in fuck, was that in Guardians 2 or was that in one of the, was that in Infinity War where they went to get the no, yeah, it was Infinity War where they got the Infinity Stone and they were showing them the like the celestial beings come down and like go and be like, oh yeah, so that's what Galactus is gonna be. So I guess they're still connected to him.
We could talk about Monica Rambeau. How she's in that weird whatever world.
Oh yeah, the friend of Captain Marvel's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah.
She grew up, and I guess
Now
she's
she's there, I
an
guess.
agent of Sword, and she's like.
Oh, so do you think that she's in on everything, and she's just there to be like a liaison?
I think
Kinda
she
like
was originally supposed to be there to spy, but then she got so caught up in like Wanda's powers. I think everybody there doesn't want to be in Wanda's powers. I mean, look at that lady. When Wanda was talking to the lady, like she broke the glass because she was like, where am I? Who are you? I'm not supposed to be here. And then Wanda was like, nope. And she was like, oh.
It's very strange.
It's kind of scary. She's like, she's so powerful and that she's like either willingly or unwillingly like taking over these people's consciousness.
Yeah.
And making them live like a simulation.
The Matrix.
Because I don't think any of these people like know what they're doing. I think they're real ass people.
Well, that's why it adds to that feeling of like something's wrong.
Yeah. But it's cool like how they're introducing like subplots. Yeah. And it's like it's funny. But like
I think the only person I think Agnes might not be controlled.
I think she's going along.
Yeah, I think
she's like okay, you know, like let's see how far this goes. Let's see how far you can go.
I think she's just there to monitor how far Scarlet Witch is willing to go.
I mean, it might be a reach, but like the whole scene was like, yeah, I have a whole like 4-course meal ready to go. Here you go. Like
yeah, I was like
I mean, that seems kind of something's fishy.
I mean, it's
about
like
that.
it's like haha funny, like this is part of a sitcom
or the joke about the devil. She's like the devil's somewhere else, you know.
Yeah, and like how she's just kind of like.
She was so like.
She's central. She's central to like everything.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, hey, I'm your neighbor, and this is really like I'm a very important character right away."
Oh no, and yeah, she was asking. I mean, again, it could be this could be reaching because like they could be like, "Oh, this is just like normal things that this person would ask in this time frame." But you could argue that she was asking questions to probe her to question. Where she is, and like, oh, you don't remember, and now like she could be kind of.
It's been confirmed that Agnes is Agatha Harkness.
Well, yes,
they're not hiding it. So I mean, if she's this like witch, because Agatha Harkness is like a witch, she like sacrifices animals, has a cauldron. She's not like witches in Doctor Strange, where they're like, she's not doing no hand jutsu. She's like doing shenanigans, and she's really old. So. I think she just knows, and she's just trying to see how far Wanda will go with her powers. Yeah. I don't think she's the bad guy, unless she's like the bad guy. But I don't even think there is a bad guy. I think Wanda's the bad guy of the story because these people like they're like unwillingly there.
I can see that. That's probably
that'd be the twist. Yeah.
What we'll have to see.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very interesting story, and like I'm enjoying it thus far, but I don't know. What do you think? Like, how do you think they're gonna connect it to everything?
I think she's good. Well, they confirmed that she's gonna be the next Doctor Strange movie, right?
It really?
Yeah, pretty sure. Well, cause isn't the next thing for Marvel the galactic, like the God people, like that superhero team, the Celestials or whatever they're called? What's that superhero team called? I'm gonna look up the next phase of Marvel because I know they have a movie.
Well, what's the next movie? Is it Spider-Man?
No, Black Widow.
Oh yeah, it was after. We're not counting.
I don't know. Well, I wonder if they're gonna connect.
Thor: Love and Thunder. No, yeah, it is. It's connected.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
It's the last movie in this in the last phase.
Oh.
Because remember, it's supposed to come out earlier.
I thought Spider-Man was the last movie.
No, apparently it's Black Widow.
Really?
Because it was supposed to come out earlier.
And then COVID hit and they said oops.
Yeah,
Because there was trailers a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember the trailers and I was like,
the
did that ever come out?
Taskmaster.
Oh yeah.
the
freaking bicycle helmet
Taskmaster.
What is Thor: Love and Thunder? What are they
I
going?
don't think they revealed like much
it's
about
just
it.
female Thor.
Well,
maybe, but maybe not. Like we don't know.
There's theories that it's gonna involve the multiverse, and the multiverse where Thor is a girl is gonna like be there.
Yeah, but I want to have because like, that also leads to Bitter Ray Bill. And I'll be like, yeah.
Bitter Ray Bill is so derpy.
I love Bitter Ray Bill. He rocks, bro.
Is that
so
like the
derpy.
dinosaur one?
The dinosaur looking dude,
the horse dude.
Yeah, and like because he gets the he gets the powers of Thor.
I think Black Widow is gonna bring back Black Widow. I think either Natasha, like the Natasha that died in Endgame, is gonna be her sister disguised as her, or something else.
Her sister's in Black Widow.
I know,
but Black Widow was before what happened.
What happened? Because her hair changed, and they never explained why.
Oh yeah. She was blonde.
Mm-hmm. And they never explained.
Is she redhead again in
Yes.
this?
Yeah, and they never explained.
Are they really gonna pull that?
And
that's
they never
the one thing that
they never explained why she didn't have any romantic feelings for
Yeah, that subplot just died.
the Hulk guy. I forgot Bruce Banner.
Banner.
Forgot about that
Yeah.
name. For a whole ass forgot about Mr. Bruce. I'm sorry.
I mean,
But
he got
Bruce
kind
the
of
Goose.
cooked.
Yeah, they literally she forgot about all her affection for that man, and they didn't explain why. And there's also a scene in the trailer where you see Natasha's sister going to plastic surgery, and in the comics, they do that plot where she
Well,
just
then.
gets plastic surgery to look like Natasha, and she replaces her.
Mm.
But like, how do you get like all that emotional?
They have
attachment?
memory thing. She could implant all her memories in there.
What the fuck?
It's comic books.
They could do anything.
Yeah, that's true. They could do it. I guess it makes sense if that's what they're going with. But
And it's not like the Infinity Stone would really care. You'd be like, oh, she died.
yeah.
Goodbye.
But
Which I feel like people would be happy and both angry, but I would be happy because, like, I'm sorry, her death did not feel like anything at all.
yeah, I know.
It was just kind of like there.
Yeah.
Honestly, she was just like, I'm gonna die because you have a family. And Hawkeye was like, no, I'm gonna die. And I'm like,
Because I don't have
and I'm like, this is stupid.
Because I am ninja.
I honestly feel like, it would have been more sad if Hawkeye died.
Yeah, then his family.
I would have
comes back.
cared
family
more.
comes back,
Yeah.
and they'll have him. Yeah.
I would have cared more instead of just be like, goodbye.
Because she's just like, I just want to fucking die.
You
bro.
guys are
Let
my
me die.
family. Goodbye. And then dies.
I don't know, man. What do you think they're gonna do with Black Panther 2 now? Since
I
Chadwick
think they're just gonna
Boseman
recast.
has to.
They have to if they want to
Either
keep that.
recast or they have scenes and they might do motion cap and CGI.
No, I think they said they're not going to do CGI.
The next movie after Black Widow is apparently Shang-Chi.
Who is Shang-Chi?
He's a part of that superhero group.
The Immortals.
Yeah, the
That's
Immortals.
what
That's
it
what they're
is.
called. He's like, who's that guy in Marvel Iron Fist?
Iron
Fist.
He's like Iron Fist, but like with powers.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of
Hidden Temple.
the Ten Rings.
It's supposed to be like a Kung Fu solo movie.
Oh, okay.
That looks like it.
Mhm.
And looks like Bruce Lee in a comic book.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
that's
kinda
what he
fire.
was based off of.
Oh, it's kind of fire. Hold up.
Is that Captain Marvel? With a samurai sword?
That's epic.
We'll see what's gonna happen with that.
Oh yeah, it is.
Well, you know.
And then after that movie is the Eternals. So they're probably just gonna have to be like, look at him do things, and at the end they're gonna be like,
I'm excited to be invested in a different superhero team.
Yeah.
well, they're gonna have to.
I'm just like, I'm glad that the Avengers got like,
Bopped.
but no, I'm glad that they became cultural phenomenons. But now I'm excited for them to do that with, like,
More
because
people.
like Guardians of the Galaxy was a perfect example of a superhero team no one gave a shit about.
Yeah, nobody.
And
living
now
out there.
everyone loves them. They are now, they went from like C-level comic books to like A.
Rocket Raccoon went from like literally nobody to like
Yeah.
everybody
An
knows
icon.
who he
Yeah.
is.
If anybody knew about it, it was only because of like Marvel
It
vs.
was
Capcom.
Or even like Gamora. Like Gamora went from like
Yeah.
Thanos' daughter to like literally a legend.
Yeah, so like I'm glad this I'm excited to see them do that with other offshoot heroes.
Mhm.
I'm really excited for that.
When we get that standalone
I
Fantastic
think that's
Four
what happened to the
movie.
Eternals because the Eternals were big derpy. And the comics,
See, but the Guardians of the Galaxy were goofy as shit.
the Eternals were like big derpy. They're like their comic book lore is so old. They're like literal
they're
like
just-
gods.
They're just gonna take creative liberties again.
They're like god beings who had a race that like died. It was like weird. I was like, what's happening
Whoa,
here?
Fire Emblem.
Oh.
Oh, hold up, pause. Okay.
And then after that is the Spider-Man Spider-Verse movie.
How do you guys think that's gonna go?
I mean, it's probably
It's
should get
gonna be
introduced to
interesting.
multiverse.
Well, it's literally Doctor Strange, so you know Doctor Strange gonna be like, haha, boop, boop, boop.
I mean, after that movie is Doctor Strange. So
I think it's gonna be the lead into Doctor Strange.
I think this
Like,
whole
Cumberbatch is in that movie.
It
That is
just
confirmed.
it
Yeah.
depends because you know I've seen Marvel movies where there was too much on screen and they dropped the ball, like Spider-Man 3. But then like people said the same thing was gonna happen to Avengers, and then they did a good job with it. So I'm like, but the thing is with Avengers is because there was build up to each character
Mhm.
because they have their own solo films.
Well,
Except
technically,
Hawkeye and
technically
Scarlet-
speaking, they do
Yeah.
have their solo films.
it's the same director though. It's John Watts. I don't think he's gonna mess up.
So
Because you have the Toby trilogy,
He's
you
done
have the
good in
Andrew
like every
trilogy.
Spider-Man movie.
yeah,
Duology.
I-
Do. Yeah,
I
he
guess
doesn't
so.
even get trilogy.
so I guess we'll see.
So technically speaking, because they still are those Spider-Men.
Because
is where they're
Spider-Verse
taking
still
it.
did a good ass job with having multiple Spider-Man and multiple villains
Mhm.
on the thing. But technically they still had a central villain in Kingpin.
Yeah.
So I hope they go that route where it's like
It's the same.
there's
story
gonna
as
have multiple
Spider-Verse.
villains, but they're gonna just kind of act as cronies to.
Well, they're probably
a big
just gonna create the
Sinister Six.
the Sinister Six because Jamie Foxx is coming back as Electro.
Oh no.
He's coming back. They confirmed it.
Ah!
No, but it's not,
God.
and maybe it's not Andrew Garfield's version. Maybe it's gonna be a nicer looking version, not ugly.
Hopefully,
electric
ugly blue man,
Blue
with
Man
like
Group.
Doctor Manhattan.
I want to see. I hope they
Honestly,
give him a costume.
I want to see.
I mean, Electro's gonna look ugly no matter what you
Like-
do to Electro because he just built
The
different.
Spider-Man game did the Sinister Six like justice. Like that was like
They were actually fighting.
that was it, man. So like if they take from that,
I like Mr. Negative.
I'll give it to them. Like if they do that like that, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm fine.
I
with
want
that.
to see Mr.
Yeah, they
Negative.
confirmed that the Doctor Strange movie's gonna have Wanda.
Mm.
Mm.
So I think WandaVision's gonna play directly into Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
Makes
that's how
sense.
they do things.
So I think she's probably gonna either like see him at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
or one of these movies they're gonna be in the credit scene where Wanda's like, "Hello," and he's like,
Yeah.
"Okay."
I do appreciate how
You know
after Endgame they've kind of like doing it a little bit at a time because it was getting kind of tiresome. Just every month a
Superhero
new Marvel
fatigue.
movie comes
Yeah,
out.
but now
Then
I mean,
TV show
so
on
you can
top
say
of
you
that.
can say COVID helped them
Yeah.
in a way,
It's
kinda,
not kinda.
in pacing.
Yes.
And it's given us enough time away from the characters. We're like, okay,
Now I care.
I
again.
want to see what happens now.
Yeah.
I'm just like, people don't know who the bad guy is. But I think it's Shuma Gorath.
I mean,
If they're
that would
gonna-
make
I
sense.
mean,
If they're talking
for-
about multiverse,
Yeah, if we're talking about multiverse,
That and they're trying to
yeah.
put it into a horror aspect.
And the
Like,
Nightmare
this
Dimension.
is a whole different thing.
that's Shuma Gorath's dimension.
What dimension?
The Nightmare Dimension.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think they want to make the Doctor Strange more relevant.
Eyeball laser.
Oh, that one.
he's gonna infinite them and they're gonna die.
Oh,
Mystic Ray. It's
Yo,
so stupid.
If they, man, that'd be amazing if they could reference Marvel. vs.
Realistic
Capcom in
Shuma
the
Gorath
Deadpool-
is gonna
Deadpool
be
3.
frightening. That
Okay.
man is a creature
Wait.
of nightmares.
Hold on, can we talk about that? Do you think Ryan Reynolds heard Nolan North's performance? Because I hear a lot of Nolan North's performance watching Ryan Reynolds.
I don't doubt that
Yeah,
he did
he
his
probably, like,
research
yeah.
of past interpretations of
I
Deadpool,
got
and he's like,
that
"That's
too."
the one I like. That's
But,
what I'm gonna
like,
do."
There's only like that Deadpool, Nolan North, and then like the one that was in that, what was that Marvel game?
Deadpool movie? The
No,
new
no, no,
movie?
no, no, no,
Ultimate
no.
Alliance?
Yes, that.
Yeah.
So there's like just that. So
I think he did his research. Yeah,
Look how
obviously,
scary he is.
and he liked it.
yeah.
You know.
Look
so,
how frightening that man is.
Shuma
Shuma
Gorath-
Gorath,
I mean,
he's
he's a
just-
literal like demon,
He's
right?
just a tentacle.
Oh
monster.
yeah.
He's a demon god thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a demon.
I think they're trying to make Doctor Strange more relevant too now with that. So I'm
Hopefully.
excited.
Because remember, they I think what.
Or
they
that
have a
dude, that
director
dark
for
dude.
horror
We
movie
still
or
have not
whatever.
gotten the follow up to fucking
Oh,
Doctor
yeah.
Strange 1.
Also,
So
keep in
I'm not
mind,
sure how they're gonna do timeline things.
Loki's still just like
Oh, yeah,
doing
Loki
his
exists.
thing.
Loki's series is coming
Yeah, he's getting
out.
a series.
Man, there's a
And
lot
the
going on.
Captain America one.
And thing is too, that's technically not this universe's Loki. It's another universe.
They're going heavy into the multiverse.
Oh yeah, it's the
Yeah.
past timeline Loki.
Yeah.
I really hope they don't write some shenanigans, because even like Endgame was kind of iffy with that whole time travel thing.
Well,
There
because
were
my
some
thing
plot
is like
holes
he
here
has
and
the
there.
Tesseract. Isn't that powered by an Infinity Stone?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is
So-
that? The space.
Does that make
stone?
he has an Infinity Stone?
Yes.
And the Infinity Stones are gone in that universe.
No,
Are they
they
still
returned
around?
them.
Oh.
Big-
That was the whole plot point of the end of the movie.
Oh, so that just means Vision's coming back.
I guess they
Well,
just
not in this universe though. They remember they took the
Oh,
Infinity.
yeah, he
they
gave it
took the
back.
Infinity Stones from the different. Actually, they kind of started a multiverse in
Yeah,
that.
but wait, but
technically.
like, how
no,
does
but
Loki
like,
still
yeah,
have
no,
that
Loki,
then?
he has it.
Yeah.
Because he
He
escaped.
teleported with it. That's how he got away.
Yeah.
Because
So
it was
he-
in the
he-
scepter and it came out the scepter.
He has the Tesseract with him somewhere.
somewhere.
We don't know where.
So
but
you know
he
what I
has
think
it.
Loki's gonna do? I think he's gonna flesh out the multiverse, and he's probably gonna like go to a bunch of different dimensions.
Yeah. Probably.
Does that mean he's gonna be a villain again? Because this isn't good
No.
Loki.
Loki.
This
Loki's
isn't good Loki though.
Loki's misadventures. In
I
the
think they're gonna.
multiverse.
I think they're gonna reboot him back to a hero
Probably.
or an anti-hero.
Oh, probably like Thor comes back.
They
He's
won't
like,
keep
hey.
Loki as a villain.
Yeah, they'd be like, hey, so in this universe, we were homies.
And you died.
and you died. But
We
we
were
were
good
homies.
brothers. Yeah.
So you
I
want
mean,
to
they
be
were-
homies again?
It was.
It was semi-homie, bro.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
because he's still Loki. He's still backstab.
He's an
But-
anti-hero.
H half homie, bro.
They're not gonna make him a villain because they're just gonna beat him up again. Like literally.
But maybe he gets stronger because he's just
No,
literally traveling
No,
dimensions.
they can't because like now they have like Captain Marvel shits on Loki.
Yeah, she'd be like behind you, and she'd be like, and he just die.
What if he just learns?
Or
how to
Wanda
act?
would just be like, dead. Or Doctor Strange would be like, dead.
Or even like current Thor after he loses his beer belly.
Yeah, with Mr. Groot and
Destroys
Hammer.
that.
Where are the
Loki.
other gods in Thor, bro?
They
That's
they
another thing we
retconned
could touch
them.
up. Like
Hel
maybe.
died, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Odin
that
is-
wasn't
Odin's
Hel.
dead.
That was,
Odin's dead. Freya's
That's
dead.
Hela or
Or
whatever.
Hela.
That's
I'm
the
pretty
same person.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Was that
Hel and
supposed to be
Hela
Hel?
is the same. Yeah.
Fenrir's dead.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
planet
but-
blew up, so everyone on that planet is dead.
Yeah, they made it like around.
Okay, but like they can bring back gods because gods exist in the Marvel universe. Hercules exists.
That's true.
Zeus exists.
That's true.
That
So-
has a tesseract, so this is
I
just
wonder-
another.
I just don't know if
Because
they
they
wanna-
technically went through they went through Ragnarok.
I don't know if they
So
want to
it doesn't
go
matter.
through that though, because once you introduce gods, then you get like so much stuff that can happen.
Wait, does that mean there's two Thors now? Because that's past timeline. Loki could literally just go like, "Hey, I want to go back to my world," which still
If he
exists.
if he goes to a world where Thor exists, yes.
Exactly.
I
In
wonder if
his
it's- I
realm,
wonder
that
if-
Thor exists because they went.
See, but
Back
I wonder if
in
like what
time.
happened in this timeline is an inevitability, or that's gonna be
I
an
mean,
offshoot,
Ragnarok
or if
happens
it's gonna
no
be an
matter
offshoot
what.
dimension.
The Ragnarok happens no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Norse mythology. Like the world
So,
ends.
I don't know. They have a lot of options, but with that, we could go probably on and on for hours in Marvel lore. I'm gonna be real, but
Tell us if you want that, cause I'll be down.
tell us if you want a big
What
big
ifs?
podcast.
This is
The
literally
big
just
book of
what
Marvel.
ifs.
Yeah, the
Marvel-
Marvel podcast.
Marvel versus Marvel.
Oh man.
Hey, yo, Marvel, hire us for your what if series.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, can I be a Marvel writer?
Dude, just let us know what you want to see. But yeah, with that, we'll cut it off early just so we don't go off for another hour. But yeah, like, subscribe, share. You know, keep up watching. If you even make it this far, which I know like probably like 1% people do. If you did, thank you.
We love you.
know?
Wow.
But yeah, tell people about us. But yeah,
Please.
and we'll see you soon. New stuff coming. Signing off.
Bye bye.
I'm gonna take you for a ride.
I wanna take you for